With 27.5% of resources coming from recycled waste, the Netherlands is the world champion in circularity, notably outpacing the runner-up, Belgium, which has 22.2%. The country implemented hundreds of initiatives to develop and stimulate circularity in various sectors, like farming, textile, construction or services. Most of the sectors in the Netherlands use natural or recycled materials instead of artificial ones. Traveling across the country, you may see bamboo road signs, bio-based turf on sport grounds, and roads made of recycled plastic. The Dutch incredible ambition is to improve circularity to 50% by 2030 and to 100% by 2050. How come the Netherlands is the best at recycling? And does it really have the perspective to become a circular superpower? Let's try to answer. But before we start, a quick reminder to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Arthur Brickman, this is Sustainable Channel. Let's go! Several factors drive the success of the Netherlands in circularity. The first is a clear strategic vision. The base of the Dutch approach is the donut model proposed by British economist Kate Raworth. What is that? Look at the donut. It has two rings limiting it inside and outside. The small ring outlines minimal standards of living. The outer one is the natural limits, the planetary boundaries like the climate change, biodiversity loss or ozone layer depletion. If we exceed these limits, we destroy the biosphere and our living space respectively. To thrive, we have to fit within the donut, neither being in its hole, nor exceed the external borders. The Dutch strategy aims to provide decent standards of living for everyone with the minimal environmental footprint, and circular economy is a key element of this. The country designed the circularity strategy by 2030. Circularity embraces all aspects of living here and is implemented literally everywhere. It is expressed in waste management solutions which are built around our actions: reduce, reuse, repair, repurpose, recycle, and minimization of raw materials usage to stimulate circularity. Of course, there is a great infrastructure for separate garbage collection and some remuneration for it. The government prefers less enforcement and more stimulation, compared to Switzerland, for example, where garbage police exists and may punish you for improper rubbish separation. For instance, glass and plastic bottles machines giving vouchers that may discount your bill in a supermarket. This approach is not limited to solid waste. Wastewater is also treated intensively to reclaim useful substances like phosphorus and cellulose or to produce biogas. Cities have their own programs in circularity as well. Amsterdam, for example, counts materials usage of different types across their entire life cycle, from resources extraction to disposal. This bookkeeping is needed to understand the environmental pressure of the city. The second factor is inventiveness and creativity of Dutch people. They know how to improve life using limited resources and adapt to a harsh environment. One of the most prominent examples here is the dam building. A quarter of the Dutch territory lies below sea level. The country conquered a lot of its land from the sea because of dams building, but before, it was exposed to frequent floods, which encouraged to develop resilience and adaptation based on science. The Netherlands turned out the most prepared and sophisticated nation in the face of sea level rise, and now share their knowledge to other countries. But it's not about dams only. Netherlands is a home for multiple startups in circularity. The Ocean Cleanup, for example, working to eliminate the Great Pacific Garbage Patch by collecting plastic from the ocean surface and recycling it. KWS produces bike tracks and sidewalks platforms from recycled plastic. Renewi is an international company with annual revenue around $2 billion, specialized in circularity, with most of operations in the Netherlands, where it has facilities for recycling, composting, refuse-derived fuel production and industrial cleaning. The third factor is the government financial support, as well as developed institutions like relatively big financial market and special support funds. We should remember that the Netherlands is one of the richest countries in the world, with GDP above $1 trillion for only 18 million population. So the government has resources to support innovations and research. For example, the Dutch government is gonna spend around 70 million euros annually by 2025 and around 50 million euros each year from 2026 to 2030 for the National Circular Economy program. The country's research and development expenditures are around 3% of GDP, one of the highest in the world. The Netherlands is a fertile land for startups because of easy fundraising and ease of doing business. There are several special platforms where investors and companies can match and start partnerships. One of them, the Circular Netherlands Accelerator, is specialized in circularity, as it follows from its name. The National Growth Fund is another business incubator and financing facility, along with multiple municipal and private funds. A special focus is paid to SMEs as they are the main source of creativity and ideas to be scaled. Public monitoring and constant feedback with lessons learned are also in play here, along with continuously evolving regulations and great educational system. It all sounds very reassuring. However, some things may interfere on the way to full circularity. The first is politics. Even though the political system of the Netherlands itself is very stable, the country may be affected by the changes in other countries or globally. Supply chain disruptions or losing trade bonds due to political or institutional shifts may be an extremely serious challenge. Nonetheless, inside the country, some political tensions may occur as well, particularly inspired by external factors like disagreements within the European Union. This may be challenging if uncertainty happens. Technological limits are the second factor. There are plenty of them. For instance, when it comes to plastic or paper, recycling processes often decrease the quality of original material, requiring additional intake of raw materials or some chemicals. It doesn't create a circle. To overcome this barrier, very notable investments in research and development are highly required. The third serious obstacle is the lack of financing. Due to a lesser scalability at the moment, circular production consumes more money than the traditional cradle-to-grave model. Any decision of a company's management or a government to reduce the financial support may also hamper the transition. So, can the Netherlands be a future circular superpower? Most likely, the answer is yes. At least it has all necessary conditions for that. On the road to circularity, the country has to overcome several issues, though this is a feasible task. It is very likely that, as well as the dams building, the soft power of circular technologies and innovations grown here may and will likely can spread around the world in future, and the Netherlands will have plenty of benefits from it. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. Good luck everyone, and be sustainable.